So how would one describe what web forms are? Microsoft has provided an excellent answer. With ASP.NET Web Forms, you can build dynamic websites using a familiar drag-and-drop event-driven model. A design surface and hundreds of controls and components let you rapidly build sophisticated, powerful UI-driven sites with data access. Yes, it sounds a little like marketing, but it's all true. In the Microsoft Web Platform, Web Forms exist in the ASP.NET family. It is the first in the family. However, it is not supported in ASP.NET Core. Web Forms has its roots in classic ASP. Initially, it wasn't called Web Forms. It was simply called ASP.NET. Now, the ASP part of it came from classic ASP. An example of this was a web developer would create a file that was meant to be processed by the ASP engine. In that file, there would be HTML markup as well as server-side code. It would get processed on the server and then converted into plain HTML as seen here. For this process to work, a developer really needed to understand HTML. Well, Microsoft is well known for their rapid application development model. This was clearly seen with Windows Forms developers, the ability to quickly create a Windows application, dragging and dropping controls onto a form, responding to events, doing data binding techniques. So in that spirit, why not bring that over to the web developer community? So ASP.NET was created and Web Forms became a very familiar model to Windows Forms. Windows Forms developers could easily migrate and become Web Forms developers. What are some interesting features to Web Forms? It's highly object-oriented, much like Windows Forms was. Highly event-driven. Events are available at the page level, control level, in the entire HTTP pipeline. It supports separation of markup from the logic, unlike classic ASP where it was inline. Separate code files can exist for each page. ASP.NET Web Forms are primarily a pre-compilation model in that all the code files in the project get compiled into one single assembly or DLL. However, it also supports dynamic compilation, which requires the code files to be deployed to the server, and then upon requesting the page, a just-in-time compilation occurs and a unique assembly is created for each one of those pages being requested. However, its remarkable integration of Visual Studio is probably what really makes it stand out in comparison to other technologies. It has an amazing design view where you can drag and drop controls, many third-party controls, even making the complex things so much easier to do. And it has a fantastic data binding story to tell. And because it is first in the family of ASP.NET, it can also boast the greatest maturity in that family.